Unfortunately, COVID hit in the peak season for us. Like for example, in the beverages, March, April, May is the peak season, and both the years the COVID happened in the peak season. So it was always a big trouble for us. It was a big problem. So we lost a lot of our sales, but we the team stood together. We took care of the team during the first wave and the second wave. So they all stayed back with us during the tough times. We have now vaccinated all the employees as much as possible. The taking care of the employees was the first step what we took.
Hello and welcome to Inventiva. Today I am Ronak Soni back again with the interview series where we take interviews of rising entrepreneurs. And today we have Mr. Prabhu Kumar Gandhi with us. Hello Mr. Gandhi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine as well, thank you so much. So, Mr. Prabhu Kumar Gandhi is the CEO and founder of TABP Limited Enterprise, which was established to bring international standards of healthy and nutritional food to all segments of people. Their company is making forte in the market with juices, carbonated drinks, snacks, rusks, and non-alcoholic beers. So, welcome to Inventiva, Mr. Gandhi.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Okay, sir. So, without any further delay, let's start with our first question then. Where did you get the idea of your venture and how was your journey?
Okay. So basically, in 2012, when I came back to India and joined my father's business, we were into metal casting and engineering industries. So I started another foundry of my own, and that's how I got into entrepreneurship. But when we were looking to diversify as a group, the food processing industry seems to be very nascent in India compared to all the other countries. The amount of food wastages which were happening, the amount of the food produced, rather the vegetables, fruits, which is processed in say USA is close to 46% to 50%. In India, it was hardly 3-4%. Then it's still 3-4% now. So I wanted to do something in that line so that all this products which are going waste can be processed and taken it back to people so that the farmers also get benefited, the end consumer also gets benefited. So when we are looking at that, and in food processing, actually the food processing segment by itself is a huge ocean, right? So when we wanted to understand what is the specific thing where we had to enter into, we got into the idea of getting into the beverage space because we felt though the MNCs were playing a huge role in the beverage space in India, but there were huge gaps there. Like for example, they were not concentrating on the bottom of the pyramid segment at all. The predominant distribution of the MNCs were concentrated only in urban areas, with a lot of rural areas not being present. And when came to rural areas, what was happening was the glass bottles could not be taken to the rural areas because reverse logistics would be a problem. And they did not have anything in the 10 rupees segment for the in the PET bottle. They used to start at 25-30 rupees. So for a person who is earning like 250-300 rupees per day, for him to get this kind of a drink at 35 rupees would be a luxury item rather than a something which he can indulge in. So for them, this 10 rupees would be a something which is okay to have. So and these bottle drinks were also an aspirational item for them. So these things came together, and I started this beverages at rupees 10 in 2016. So that is how it all came about.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, so my next question is what was the inspiration behind the name TABT?
Okay, actually, we had started this company as Tanvi Foods,
Yes.
right? So Tanvi Foods, it was in 2016. I had started this company, and it was a partnership between me and my wife. So we had started this company, and we were running this company. So what had happened was in the year 2018, when I wanted to convert it into a private limited company, we did not have the name available. So Tanvi was already taken. So we had to find out a different name. So basically we just chose TABP, Tanvi Brinda Prabhu. So, and we just started it. Nothing much about it.
Okay, okay. So, whenever we start a new business venture, we always find some issues related to funding. So when you first started your business, how did you get your fundings and how did you manage it?
Okay, initially the Tanvi Foods was started between the savings which I had from my working corporate stint, and after and we had taken a couple of bank loans to fund the capital project for getting the small production unit in Coimbatore and for the working capital needs. In 2018, since the company was growing extremely fast, we wanted to take it to the next level. So we formed a private limited company. We took seed kind of funding from a couple of angel investors. So that is how we started with the angel funding. Now we have grown to a stage where we have the Chand family office investing in our company, and we have taken that forward.
That's great. Okay. So what were the problems which you faced while growing your business venture?
So the initial problem was it's like, for example, when you're building an FMCG brand from scratch, it takes a lot of hard work and legwork to make it happen. And since we decided we want to go to an asset light model, then we had to build the ecosystem. Like, for example, if you look at Coke or Pepsi, most of their bottling plants are owned by other people. Like, for example, Pepsi goes with Warren Beverages.
Yes.
So that kind of ecosystem was not available for an SME in India. So I had to build that kind of an infrastructure, work with people, put up bottling plants for us, and that was the major challenge. Basically, the product got a hit in the market. There was huge demand, but for me to meet that demand took a lot of time to make it happen. So it was a struggle.
This COVID pandemic has really affected all of our lives, our businesses. So I wanted to ask how this COVID-19 has affected your venture and what updation you did after the outbreak.
Okay. So unfortunately, COVID hit in the peak season for us. Like, for example, in the beverages, March, April, May is the peak season, and both years the COVID happened in the peak season. So it was always a big trouble for us. It was a big problem. So we lost a lot of our sales, but the team stood together. We took care of the team during the first wave and the second wave. So they all stayed back with us during the tough times. We have now vaccinated all the employees as much as possible. The taking care of the employees was the first step what we took. So the next step was like, of course, since all the physical stores were closed for most part, our existing business went for a toss. So we had to scramble together to see if we can create alternative products which can be sold online, because online sales was already happening. So we have created a brand called Millet Mite, which is going to take the millet products and create breakfast cereals, mueslis, chocofills, chocoflakes, all out of it. It's already in the market right now. It is getting listed in Amazon and Flipkart. It's going to be available online very shortly.
Okay, that's amazing. So my next question is, how did you created your value base during your initial days?
So we were very clear on what we were offering to the consumer and whom we are speaking to. So we were very clear our target audience is going to be the bottom of the pyramid person in India, because the person, if you look at the bottom of the pyramid thing in India, it's close to 300 odd million people, which is almost close to the population of USA. So that was a huge market which was left untapped. But we wanted to bring them international standard quality product at a value conscious price for them. So that was the value system which we engraved in the product. And also, like at that point in time, I think Tanvi was 3 years old. My Tanvi is my daughter, by the way. So she was 3 years old, and when we used to go to the factory, me and my wife, she also used to accompany it. I was very clear that if she picked up a product from the production line and she drank it, I should not feel bad about it.
Yeah.
So that was the quality of production which we aim to create, and that has stood us in very good stead in expanding much quicker.
Amazing, that's great. Okay, so my next question is, what are your present goals and your present status of the venture?
So currently we are present in about like 1,20,000 retail outlets spread across the 5 states of South India. We are present in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and Odisha. So the near time goal is to get into Maharashtra and Goa within this year. So that is the goal which we are working on. The medium term goal in the next 4 to 5 years would be to expand the retail presence to close to 5 million I'm sorry, 5 lakh outlets, 5 lakh outlets, and we have presence in every single taluk of South India. So this is the target which we are working on, and we are moving towards it.
Wow, this is huge. This is great. Okay.
Thank you.
So, my next question is, where do you see your venture in the upcoming 10 years?
So 10 years, we are looking at, say, presence in the northern part of the country too. We want to be in every single taluk of South India, of course. That will happen very quickly. In the next 10 years, we want to be known as a national brand with presence in almost all the states of India. We want to expand. The next phase of expansion would be in the Bimaru states of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, where the bottom of this pyramid population is much higher, and I'm pretty sure our product's acceptance is going to be much higher. So this will be the next step, and taking one at a time, we want to move into all the different states. We have already launched a range of snacking products too. So all in all, we wanted to be, of course, in the next 10 years, we would be a listed entity. So we want to create wealth for all our shareholders. That is the motive which we are working towards in the next 10 years.
Yes, Team Inventiva wishes you a lot of luck with the present goals
Thank you.
and future goals. So, this is going to be my last question. What
Mhm.
message do you want to give to those new entrepreneurs who look up to you as their inspiration?
Okay. So basically, concentrate on your core. Don't try to, when you start a business, don't try to do everything. Concentrate on one thing, which is your core thing, and keep doing that. Be very frugal. Don't the whatever you see in televisions of being entrepreneurs being glamorous. This is glamorous after 15 years, not when you start. So overnight success takes 15 years. So keep that in mind before you start. The first thousand days are extremely critical, so be very very be ready to make as many sacrifices as possible to make sure it's there, but always I would you should try entrepreneurship at least for once, even if it's a failed venture. You would learn in a year or a year and a half what it will take, about 5 6 MBAs to teach you about management. So that will hold you in very good stead if you want to do a job elsewhere, or you go move into leadership positions very quickly. Nothing can be as rewarding or as a steep learning curve as being an entrepreneur. So I would love to see more of you getting into entrepreneurship, and glad to guide you if you need any.
So, this will be the end of our interview, sir. Thank you so much for making time for us from your busy schedule. And thank you so much for giving the interview.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.